everyone, welcome back to another video. I am outside this afternoon and it is the day before I need to drop off some bouquets down to my local garden centre, and I thought I would bring you out and we could do some harvesting and then arranging together tomorrow morning, just to show you what my process is like for picking flowers, the flowers that are in bloom right now in the garden, and also just talk through how I arrange different bouquets and then take them to my local garden centre to sell. I haven't really done a video like this before, so we'll see how it goes. It is a quite windy and dreary afternoon this afternoon. I haven't picked any of the flowers yet, and I've been hoping that the rain would kind of hold off this afternoon because a lot of the flowers are a little bit damp right now and they are going to need the night to kind of dry off a little bit before I arrange them tomorrow morning. So we'll see what we can find here. But if you are new here, hello, my name is Robyn and I live here on the south coast of New South Wales, Australia with my partner and our two cats, one of which is staring at me from inside because he wants to come out, but they go on supervised walks, so he can wait a little bit till after we do some harvesting. But yeah, we run a backyard flower farm here, so everything is grown in our backyard. I have a few different kind of garden and flower farm areas on the property, one of which is this little cottage garden behind me, which is more where I grow veggies and flowers for me to enjoy. But I will be harvesting a few flowers from here. And then I have a dedicated flower farm area towards the back of the property, and that's where I have a few larger rows of flowers where I can kind of grow them in bulk down there. So we'll see how the weather goes for this video, but I am all ready to pick. I have my secateurs and some gloves. You really don't need anything special for secateurs or snips. Often a lot of people use snips and they do work really well for harvesting flowers, but I'm going with some secateurs because this is what I have on hand, and I really like these. They're really comfortable to hold. They last a long time. They've lasted me through many garden jobs and bush regeneration jobs, so I really like these. These are the Fiskars P341s. Really like these. They're pretty affordable from Bunnings. And then I'm just going to be using some gloves because I strip the stems while I'm harvesting, and I just get a really big pack of these from Aussie Gardener. I think it was 30 something dollars for like a 12 pack of these, and because I go through so many gloves, I always order gloves in bulk, so that's what I'm going to be using. And I have a lot of freshly washed buckets. It's really important to have clean buckets when you're harvesting flowers. You basically want to have as fresh water as you can and be comfortable actually drinking it yourself. The fresher the water, the longer the flowers are going to last, and you're going to have less of that kind of bacteria build up, which can age the flowers quicker. So important to have fresh buckets, and I just washed these with some hot water and dish soap to give them a wash. So I'm going to grab these and we're going to head down to the flower farm area first. I really like to harvest my focal flowers first so that I can make sure that I have enough for the bouquets, and then I can kind of figure out how much filler and greenery I need. So I'm going to be harvesting some snapdragons, and straw flowers are going to make up the bulk of my arrangements. So those are the ones that I'm going to harvest first. So this is my little snapdragon patch here. These are mainly Costa variety of snapdragons, and I think there's also some Tetra in here. There's a little bit of a mix, and I've cut these quite a lot. So they're on their last legs, and I think this may be one of the last harvests of snapdragons that I do. I have been dealing with some caterpillars in here. I have sprayed with Dipel, but I can actually see some little caterpillars still moving around, so that's not fun. And I do like to just do a little bit of a check in the snapdragons just to have a little bit of a look to see if there are a lot of caterpillars or not, and I can't really see any at the moment. So with the better looking stems, I'm happy to harvest these, but stems that like most of the flowers are open, kind of like this one. I can see that, yeah, it's really not a very pretty looking flower. Well, I mean, it's still pretty, but it's just not going to last too long in an arrangement. So I'm going to go through and harvest stems that are looking a little bit nicer, see how many we can get. And usually I'll use maybe 3 or 4 of these snapdragons in my $20 bouquets. So yeah, we'll see how many I can get. And then I might do some more straw flowers in some, or less snapdragons. We'll just see how many I can pick today. So I harvest nice and low, snip it off, and then I usually just strip all of the leaves in the pathways so that it's nice and clean and the stem is nice and prepped for me to work with it when I get inside. I think these lighter pink ones are probably one of my favorites. In this next bed over, I have all of my straw flowers or paper daisies, and these are looking really great right now. I have gone through and I have done a first cut through them all, so they're sending up their second shoots right now, which is great because this is kind of the size that I would prefer. The stems are a little bit less thick, and there's just lots more flowers, so I'm happy that they're at this stage. They are suffering with a little bit of bug damage, but I strip back all of the leaves and just snip off any flowers that look like they have been, I don't know, damaged by bugs, I suppose. So there's 3 little flowers on this one stem, which is really great. So there's a little bit more of a close-up for what they look like. And yeah, I've really been enjoying working with these, mainly because they last so long in water. I can recommend to dry them to customers if they don't want to, enjoy them fresh for however long. And they just always seem to look really good when there's lots of them together in a bouquet. So much like the snapdragons, it's important to really cut deep with these to make sure that the plant is going to be sending up new shoots, because yeah, it is another cut and come again plant, which I really like. I just planted a mix of paper daisies in here, so it was just random colours, and I think I'm definitely going to do that next year because I really love just how rainbow-esque these are. They look really great if you've got some blue cornflowers that you can chuck in with these to kind of give a little bit more of that rainbow vibe. Next, I'm going to grab just a few Sweet Williams. This is the first time that I've grown these before. Don't really know too much about them, but I have planted in here a mixture of Summertime Mix, I think, and Herald of Spring. Pretty sure that's what they were called. But I do know with Sweet Williams that they are a cut and come again, harvest them nice and deep, and they should send off extra shoots. And I think you're supposed to harvest them when not all of the petals have supposedly opened. At least that's what I read. So we'll see how these go. They look really beautiful and they're really nice and strong stems. So I'm pretty happy with these. I've only got a few here, but that's okay because I will have lots more in the next few weeks. I did plant these in late winter. I wasn't too sure how well they were going to go this year because they are a perennial. Usually they flower best in their second year, I believe, but they look pretty good. So I'm going to harvest these, and then I'm going to pick a few stems of larkspur, which you can kind of see in the front of the shot there, to kind of have a little bit more of an airy texture to the bouquets. So yeah, those are the two next flowers that I'm going to be harvesting. All right, my camera died and it was also raining, so perfect time to have a little bit of a break. But I went up and harvested another bucket of feverfew and some other filler flowers, like some yarrow and pincushion flowers. So I did that while it was kind of raining and I couldn't have my camera out. But I've come back down here to pick some more feverfew. This is one of my favorite fillers to use. I absolutely adore it. This is just the single white, I think, feverfew. I think that's what it's called. It's my favorite. It's really simple. It looks like daisies and it just makes your bouquets look amazing. This particular plant I actually planted last season and it flowered, and then I overwintered it and it's come back again with a second flush. The stems are really nice and tall. This is a cut and come again plant, a perennial as well. I do find you get the best flowers in the first flush. But yeah, if you are looking for a filler flower for your bouquets to kind of just fill them out, I would definitely recommend feverfew. So I'm just going to grab as many stems of this as I can, and then I'll move on to pincushion flowers, and then status, and then a few cosmos maybe, and then I need to pick some greens. So I think for the rest of this video, because it's already 6:30 and I need to get harvesting, I'm just going to add a little bit of music over the top and share the flowers with you. Then I will come back tomorrow and we will do some arranging, and I'll show you how I put all these together. Good morning everyone. It is about 6:30 in the morning now and I am all set up ready to make some bouquets. I have my coffee and I'm surrounded by flowers and I am going to get as many made as I can. I thought I would chat through just maybe a few of the bouquets, probably not all of them because I do have to get them done by a certain time, but I'll kind of just chat through my general process. It is really dark today outside. It's very rainy, very cloudy, so I'm battling with a little bit of low light in this room, but we'll make do. We'll see how we go, and I'll try and share as much as I can of the bouquet making process. We're going to have lots of cats in the background because every time I make bouquets or do any kind of work down here, they usually need to be involved in whatever I'm doing. So Rocky has come to say hello. But yeah, we're going to get started, and the first thing that I always do when I make bouquets is usually I start with the greenery and filler. So I have my bucket of greenery here, so I'm going to pick some of these and probably pick some feverfew to add in with some of these to start out the arrangement. So what this does is it provides a base for adding any other flowers in. When you have some foliage in there, this is going to support any stems that you add into this arrangement. Just adds a little bit of texture as well. So yeah, I always start out with some greenery usually. Then I'm going to move on to filler. So I'm using my feverfew for that. Sorry, it is a little hard to show you. Oh, there's a spider. Usually we have spiders and ladybugs that come to join us. So I have 3 feverfew stems in there. I am also making $20 bunches. I should have said that already, but yeah, with the $20 bunches I try and make up $20 worth of product. So already the greenery I class as maybe about $1, $1.50 for all of that. Then we're going to add some straw flowers. This is going to be a straw flower bouquet, I think. I definitely need to get a better filming setup to show you all of the flowers, but I'll make do today. When I'm choosing straw flower stems, I usually go for a color scheme. So this one I'm going to be doing like a yellow and purple bouquet with some purple status. So I'm choosing 3 stems of straw flower to look like that. So that's 3 of the yellows, and then I'm going to add some purpley pink ones, kind of make this like a little bit of a rainbow bouquet. I also have like a bucket below me just to put all of the leftover foliage, and when I cut the stems just have that down there just for ease of use. I actually love hearing next door's rooster crow in the morning. I think it's so beautiful, and I don't mind at all. So hear that in the background of some of my videos. Some of these straw flower are not actually fully open, but they do continue to open when in water. So I pick them when they're closed and they do open up a little bit. I think I'm just going to add a few pincushion flowers in to just make it nice and fluffy. So far I've got about $11 worth of the straw flowers, or $10, we'll say $10. Then about $3 worth of greenery. So we're up to 13, and then the feverfew will go 15, 16, 17, 18 for the pincushion flowers, and then I'm going to surround the bouquet with some purple status, and that will bring it up to $20. So I've got these stems here, and I like to just kind of like place the status around the outside of the bouquet. And there we go. So I've then just cut the stems all to the same length, and I have some twine here. This is just like jute twine, compostable, that I prefer to use. And then I'm just going to tie this up by wrapping it around tightly, but not so it's damaging the stems. Usually I do it a little bit longer so that I can tie a little bow. And then I will pop this in some water, and then after I'm finished making all of them, I will wrap them in brown paper. Alright, I made 2 more of those straw flower and status bouquets. Now I'm going to be moving on to working with some snapdragons. I'm starting with a base of feverfew, and these are tibucina leaves, foliage. So I'm starting out with that. They both hold really well in water. I think I'm going to add one of these Sweet Williams in to the center. Just like that. And maybe some yellow straw flowers around the outside. So I think that is a nice little base, and then I'm going to pop some snapdragons around the outside. I'm just going to do a once over of some of these to make sure there's not too many bugs. As I am an organic flower farm, there's always going to be like 1 or 2 little bugs that you get with your flowers, but I promise you that they're friendly. And they just wanted a nice little home. But yeah, I do like to just double check a lot of my flowers to make sure that I don't have too many bugs, because I don't really want to be selling that. And if I do, I will just pick some out. With the snapdragon flowers, it's pretty easy to see whether you have caterpillars or not. And there was 1 caterpillar on them, but yeah, as I said earlier, it's definitely time to put the snapdragons to bed, I think. And then I'm going to add some native geranium around the sides. And my camera battery is about to die, so I'm going to finish this off and then show you the finished bouquet. Alright, this was the finished bouquet. I ended up adding some larkspur in. These were the little native geraniums. They're so, so cute. I've got the Sweet William in the middle, snapdragons, some ladybirds. You can go down. I added in some cosmos just because they're so pretty and they just add a little bit of happiness and colour. And yeah, I think that's about it. Tied it in a bow. So this recipe is what I'm probably going to use for 2 more, probably just maybe some different greenery and maybe, yeah, different filler as well, but around this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make 2 more and then I will see what I have left. Okay, so I am finished with making all of the bouquets. I made 9 in total, so now I'm going to wrap them up. I just used some brown craft paper, so I'm going to cut all of the 9 pieces of paper that I need for the bouquets first, just so that I can have them all ready, and then I will fold them and wrap them individually. Alright, so I have everything that I need to wrap the bouquets. I have my piece of craft paper, stapler. I also use some stickers. These I have just my little logo, and I use these to place over the staple. I just print these on my thermal printer that I have. It's a Munbin printer and I really like it. It was definitely an investment, but it is going to save me money in the long run because I can print these and all my shipping labels and yeah, don't actually have to use ink. So I really like these, and I wrap my bouquets really simple. There's so many different ways. Also, sorry, I'm out of the frame, but there's so many different ways to wrap bouquets. I prefer this method. I'm just going to show you. I fold this corner up to the top. So you kind of have the two peaks up here, fold it down like that, and then I prefer to cut a little bit below, just off center towards this peak here, just a little bit, and then fold these back like that. So this is where the bouquet is going to sit when I wrap it. Then I have my bouquet and I just place it down here. Around where I've tied it will go into the center area, and then I simply just fold this one over and then this one, tighten it up a little bit, and then I'm going to staple here, and that holds it in place. All the flowers are in place, and then I grab my sticker and place it over like that. I really like this method. It's really nice and quick, easy, and it usually turns out pretty good. So I'm just going to get wrapping these and then I'll check back in with you to wrap this video up. So all I really have left to do is take some photos. Unfortunately, it just started raining, so that makes my job a little bit more difficult. It is currently 8:30 now, and I wanted to drop these off at around 10. So I'm going to wait it out for half an hour, see if the rain stops, because I do like to take photos of the bouquets. Or on a day like today where it's pretty cloudy, it's a good day for photos. So I use my bigger camera to take photos. This is a Canon 70D. Really like it. You can get these secondhand now. I've had this for years and years. It's a really great camera. I really like Canon for taking photos. I think it's got a really good like color profile. Usually I try and take all of my photos in similar areas, outside near one of the nice kind of green plants that we have to have a nice green background. I'll insert a few photos here of some of the other bouquets and maybe some of the ones that I take today. But yeah, it's just a really nice background and makes the flowers really pop if you have a darker green background. So I'm going to wait out the rain, go have some breakfast, then take some photos, and then I will head down and drop these at the garden centre. I'm also going to be dropping some Christmas ornaments and some bath salts down there, so I think I might just get together a little box of those to take down so that I can be ready to go. Well, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed seeing all of the harvest of the flowers and arranging them. I had a lot of fun putting all of these together, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm going to gather everything up and run down to the garden centre to drop them all off. Thankfully the rain is holding off, though it is very bright out here today, but it definitely feels like summer. It is a very warm and muggy day, but good for all the plants. I'm sure they're all enjoying the rain. If you'd like to see any more of these kind of harvest videos and flower arranging videos, please do let me know. If you'd like to see extra content, you can head over to my Patreon channel, where I share extra videos and flower farming content and lifestyle content. Everything is over there. Otherwise, you can follow me on Instagram at The Nature Patch or The Patch in Bloom for my flower account. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and until my next one, happy gardening everyone. Bye.